Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, we're going to talk about the budget again. Just an article that I saw on CNN that, according to a source familiar with the matter, congressional leaders have come to an agreement on a 2-tranche short-term funding bill to keep the government funded into March. So now, instead of January 19th, they've kicked the can down the road 6 weeks to March 1st. And the second funding deadline is February 2nd. They kick the can down the road 5 weeks to March 8th. So now, allegedly, the new dates are March 1st and March 8th. Now, this would align, I believe, with the last 2 readings that I've had for the budget, where I saw at least the first one getting through on January 19th, by January 19th. I wasn't sure how they were going to do it, because as far as I know, they haven't gotten the associated parts approved, and the GOP was fighting it last week, so they bought themselves another 6 weeks of dysfunction and discord. You know, what is it? March. This was supposed to be done in November, so we have November, December, January, February, March. That's 5 months. They've kicked the can down the road. You know, if they just keep extending it 2 months at a time, they can go through this problem 6 times in a year. This GOP in the House is absolutely, utterly pathetic. That's assuming, of course, this story is true. Otherwise, we've got more mayhem on our hands. So, come on down and let's find out what is Mike Johnson's current state with the GOP. We know that he negotiated the top line numbers and the Freedom Caucus was upset with him. Literally, I did this reading 2 days ago. All right, what's Mike Johnson's status with the GOP right now looking like? Okay, my deck is upside down. He's being held hostage. Or the GOP, somebody's being they're feeling like they're being held hostage. And I think in this case it's Johnson. He made this agreement with the Senate, and I'm assuming with presidential approval, and now the Freedom Caucus doesn't like it, and they're making noise. So kicking the can down the road another 5 or 6 weeks, I don't know what it gets the Freedom Caucus. I mean, it's not like they're going to, build a wall or defund the IRS in that time, but I guess they wanted more time to try and play hardball. That's all I can think of, is that a lot of the extremism in the Freedom Caucus comes from non-serious politicians. Again, Bo, the fifth column, you hear me reference him a lot. He'll refer to them as social clique or social media Congress people. They're more interested in the social media cliques than actually legislating. And so if you're out there causing outrage, we're going to build a wall on the border and defund the IRS, they're just going to keep this thing rolling. And this gives them time to be dramatic and send bills over to the Senate that are demanding, that have no chance of getting passed. I think we're just in for another 5 or 6 weeks of drama. I don't see how this is going to help anything. Crossed with the Six of Coins. Now this is about working the budget, but this is coming up reversed, and I'm going to read it in the low energy. This is not getting the job done. This is not working on the budget. These folks, they can't get the votes because they want to make it an all-Republican budget, but they can't get their act together. So they're just going to approve the current budget as is for another 6 weeks. And for most people, I would hope people are recognizing how dysfunctional the GOP is right now in the House. That they can't even get this simple function done. God, what is up with this deck? Maybe the bottom of the deck's upside down. Something's upside down in here. Let me get my deck straightened out here. Why are these cards upside down? Okay, starting right about here. Let's try that. Okay, so in the past we have the Queen of Cups. This is Johnson going in over the break in negotiating with the Senate and the president, and then the Freedom Caucus just losing their mind. Johnson's kind of stuck with this. with his agreement. Because if he reneges on it, then he's a liar. He's somebody who makes agreements and then backs off on the agreements. So I think the Freedom Caucus was really upset, and they're trying to keep a lid on things in the Republican Party. But this is also Johnson keeping a lid on his secret negotiations. Current situation is the Six of Swords. Now, before today, I would have read this as them getting ready to remove Johnson again. I think all this is that they're buying themselves 6 weeks they're buying themselves time to pass all the associated funding bills that they need to pass. But I don't think they're out of the drama. I don't think the drama is going to be gone anytime soon. Overarching is the Moon card. There's some shenanigans afoot. The GOP probably, who knows? Maybe they want a little bit more time to focus on Hunter Biden and take the pressure off the fact that they don't have the budget done, or getting the budget done would somehow. I don't know. I don't understand this Republican Party. I do, but I don't understand why they can't get this part done. And it might just be that there's no. You know what I really think this is? See how there's a path in the center of this card? There's no clear path forward. The reason why they're kicking it down 6 weeks is the Republican Party still does not have a clear path forward on what to do with this. Lesson to be learned, it was naive of Johnson to go behind the Freedom Caucus's back and negotiate what they would think is a sweetheart deal for Joe Biden and the Democrats. At the same time, once upon a time, negotiations were the normal way of doing things. I'm assuming the Freedom Caucus just feels like that Mike Johnson's the little girl in this, and he got played by the flower salesman here. And they don't like what happened with it. The outcome is the Two of Wands. Yeah, this is just kicking the can down the road. Okay, we bought ourselves some more time. The budget's now down the road a little bit. What action, since this was coming out upside down, what inaction is the GOP going to take with regards to the situation? Because, again, they bought themselves like another 6 weeks or so, at least for the first budget. And the first budget's the easy one. And I say it's easy just because it's the stuff that the Republicans would normally vote for. Again, funding the military, funding the Border Patrol, the law enforcement type stuff. And then the second budget's all the stuff they don't want, which is, social programs and things like that. Okay, so what is the energy around the Freedom Caucus with this alleged delay? What's the energy with the Freedom Caucus going to be like? It's so dysfunctional, man. Freedom Caucus. Okay, my card's coming upside down again. It's the end, but it's not the end. So again, my card's coming up upside down. It's not the end yet. There's still some life left in this process. But I think what it is that they've got all these like 9 or 10 different funding bills they need to do, and they want to jam it into the back of the budget. I think they're really not happy, but they're also really not happy with Mike Johnson, which now means they're going to have to read to see if they're going to try and remove him. Because now that they pushed it down 6 weeks, now we can go through another 3 to 4 weeks of drama while they can't pick another House Speaker. Or maybe they're actually even thinking about that. What are their options? Two of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man, King of Wands. I have an ending card. And I had the King of Wands. In my reading the other day, the King of Wands was Mike Johnson and him taking action. And I think the Freedom Caucus is getting ready to give a vote of no confidence to Mike Johnson. They had their ideas of what they wanted in the budget. And Johnson's been playing games. Maybe he's over-promising and under-delivering. And they keep kicking the budget down the road, and there's a lot of turbulence around here. I think they're starting to really wonder if Mike Johnson's the right guy. They're looking at him in a different light, and they might make him a sacrifice. They may sacrifice Mike Johnson on this one. Unless somehow he's convincing them that, we can do this budget, we'll get our things that we want. You just need to look at this thing differently. The problem with the Freedom Caucus is they don't look at things differently. They look at things through a myopic lens of what they want and no compromise. So, getting $10 billion off the IRS's budget isn't a success for them because they want to totally defund the IRS. If there's $80 billion that got approved and they got that $80 billion down to $60 billion, well, that's $60 billion left on the table that needs to be removed. No compromise. Will members of the Republican Party in the House vote to remove, doesn't mean they will succeed, but will they vote to remove Mike Johnson before March 1st? I'd love to say the equinox, but that would be after the budget. I'm trying to think of what celestial things going on here. I could say the equinox, because it might happen after the budget. Will they vote to remove Mike Johnson before the spring equinox of 2024? Will the Republican Party in the House vote to remove Mike Johnson as Speaker before the equinox, the spring equinox in 2024? There's an agreement in place. Agreements, contracts, an evaluation of what's been getting done. In this case, this is coming up reverse, so what's not getting done, especially with the budgets. They've got to get the budget done, or they're going to remove him. There's discussions, and it's about getting their money's worth. Page of Swords, kind of bringing in somebody new. They might. Right here, it would be like, agreements, budgets, Page of Swords. Page of Swords is bringing somebody. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. We had an agreement about the budget. You don't know what you're doing. This could also mean they're bringing in somebody new. But there's absolutely an evaluation going on about Mike Johnson, whether they want to keep him. In the past is the Ten of Wands. It's a hard job. And I think they're coming to the conclusion Mike Johnson's not up for the job, at least in the manner by with which they want to see him do the job. There we go. This was the outcome from the current budget. The current situation by the equinox is looking for it. Are they going to extend it again? They might extend it again in March. Looking to the future here. Oh dear. The tower. Things coming to an end abruptly. Oh, that's not good. The overall energy is they're not happy and they want to bring his butt down. Johnson's in trouble. Upside down. Four of Pentacles. Holding on tightly to things. So the opposite would be being open and free and open-minded on things. Letting go. This is holding on tight. This is letting go. It might be that Johnson's asked to resign, and he needs to learn that when he's asked to resign, he doesn't have the support. He needs to let go and step down. I think they're going to ask him to step down. It's a show of strength. What was the undercard? The Page of Swords. I think by the equinox, the Republicans have asked Mike Johnson to step down. They want new leadership. They're bringing it into the Mike Johnson leadership. And this was upside down, so they have to be open-minded to who they're bringing in. Okay, so what do we get here? Budget's been extended. The Republicans are feeling, or Mike Johnson's feeling trapped. Probably the Republicans are feeling trapped by the promise Mike Johnson made. They're not happy. And they are probably going to ask him to step down from his leadership role by March. They might very well extend the budget again as they continue to try and not make a decision. Lastly, and I know I probably read if the budget's going to get passed, and I don't remember what the answer is. My poor brain. Well, I can always throw on that as we get closer to March here. What's the spiritual lesson to learn from all this dysfunction in the House? What's the spiritual lesson here? Oh, this card wants to come out. It's going to be the end. I'll throw 2 signifiers to go with that. What's the spiritual lesson? Knowing when the horse is dead, you keep kicking a dead horse, and making plans for the future. Knowing when to cut off something that's not working and then look towards something else. Get the Knight of Pentacles. Opportunity comes. Opportunity will come knocking at your door, but you have to answer your door, and you have to have room for opportunity. So if you've got a dead body in your house, and you're waiting for the new body, for the new person to come in, you got to clear out the dead body before you can bring the new opportunity in. Plan things out. Take your time. Notice the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Plan things out. Don't just fly off the cuff. You got to plan things out and map out the opportunity. Give yourself room for the opportunities to come in. If you can do that, you might find yourself in a much better spot than you were before. So, but it's still, just because, you have a plan doesn't mean there isn't going to be a fight and a struggle. Life's going to get in the way of things. So what's the spiritual lesson on this one? There's going to be chaos in the House regardless. Johnson's career is dead. They're already going to be looking for somebody new. But, and they've probably been doing so for a while. Opportunity is going to come. It could come in the form of a wealthy woman or a woman of power and influence. And, Liz Cheney might be somebody who could fulfill that role. But spiritual lesson on this one, when something doesn't serve you, make room for something else to come in. Make your plans, allow for that thing to come in so you can prosper. And yeah, it might be crazy and take a lot of energy to clear things out, but you got to clear things out that aren't working for you. When it's dead, it's dead. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. Good Lord, I'm so tired of reading on this subject. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for your likes and your shares and your comments and everything you do to help my channel reach out to a wider audience, to folks just discovering this channel recently. Hey, welcome to the channel. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.